At the beginning of the story, we meet a boy named Sam, who always seems to have bad luck. Even this morning is no different. As he's running after the school bus, he suddenly bangs his head into a few objects along the way. Despite that, he somehow manages to climb onto the bus. Unfortunately, no one offers the poor guy a seat. We then meet Sarah, the girl Sam has a huge crush on. However, he doesn't have the courage to walk up and talk to her. Sitting beside Sarah is her boyfriend Dane. Just then, Sam's friend Kalaya offers him his seat. In fact, Kalaya is Sam's only real friend. Soon after, the two arrive at the animal genetic lab, where they find all kinds of animals. Photography is strictly prohibited inside the lab, but when Sam notices Sarah standing alone, he tries to impress her by secretly taking a picture of a white parrot. The parrot gets jealous and is about to attack him, but Sam's uncle arrives just in time and saves him. His uncle works at the genetic lab. Suddenly, Sam's uncle starts coughing violently and ends up throwing up. Seeing this, Sam jokingly gives him a little push, causing him to fall straight into a pile of animal waste. His uncle gets annoyed, but not too much, since falling into filth doesn't really bother him. Meanwhile, Sam tries to clean the dirt off his clothes. Mistaking it for water, he sprays himself with a strange chemical made from bat and bear samples. The moment the chemical touches his body, every animal in the lab becomes strangely attracted to him. The chemical was actually designed to make male animals attracted to female animals. Just then, a giant dragonfly, looking almost like a tiny helicopter, swoops down and grabs Sam. Moments later, the lab's main gate is opened by a doctor, and dozens of wild animals come charging straight toward him. Everyone watching is left completely shocked. Somehow, Sam manages to escape and make it back home alive. His grandfather reminds him not to forget to feed the fish, but Sam is so exhausted that he throws up directly into the fish tank. After that, he stumbles into his room and collapses unconscious. Meanwhile, on the other side, after years of hard work, the doctor's team finally creates a revolutionary machine capable of curing even the deadliest diseases. Since Sam's uncle is suffering from a serious illness, he volunteers to use the machine. The doctor nervously warns him, "Sir, this machine hasn't been fully tested yet. It still has several flaws." But his uncle ignores the warning and replies, "Enough with the lectures, just turn it on." The machine powers up and begins transferring its energy into his body. However, because it was never properly tested, it quickly overheats and explodes in a massive blast. Moments later, one of the scientists who had been working on the project rushes over and angrily confronts Sam's uncle. But before he can say anything else, the uncle grabs his hand and mysteriously drains all of his youth and life force into himself. Within seconds, he is completely healed, looking younger, healthier, and stronger than ever before. Meanwhile, Sam finally regains consciousness after being unconscious for 5 days. The very first thing he does is look toward the house across the street where Sarah lives. After recovering, Sam heads to college. A motivational seminar is taking place, where a famous scientist has been invited to inspire the students and prove that, with determination, no obstacle is impossible to overcome. While standing near a wash basin, Sam suddenly discovers that his hand is stuck to it. He struggles desperately to pull it free, but instead of letting go, he accidentally rips the entire sink off the wall and sends it flying straight into Dane's head. Furious, Dane threatens Sam and throws a punch at him, but Sam's reflexes have become incredibly fast, allowing him to dodge the attack with ease. Trying to escape the chaos, Sam runs away, but his hand accidentally sticks to a professor's clothes. As he pulls himself free, the professor's clothes are completely torn apart. A moment later, his hand gets stuck to another professor's pants, humiliating him in front of everyone. The entire college erupts into chaos, and somehow Sam manages to escape. By now, he's completely convinced that he has gained real superpowers. Excited by the discovery, he begins testing his new abilities by climbing walls, making impossible jumps, and performing all kinds of incredible stunts just to see what he's capable of. Meanwhile, an elderly woman is crossing the road when a truck suddenly loses its brakes and comes speeding straight toward her. Wanting to be a hero, Sam immediately sprints into action. He forcefully pushes the old woman out of the way and then stands directly in front of the oncoming truck. The truck slams into him and is completely wrecked, while Sam walks away without even a scratch. Ironically, the elderly woman he had just saved is thrown so far by the push that she crashes into a lawnmower. Sometime later, Sam returns home. Just then, his grandfather accidentally fires a needle toward him. To everyone's surprise, Sam catches it effortlessly in midair with one hand. Shocked, his grandfather asks, "How did you do that?" Smiling confidently, Sam replies, "Grandpa, I'm not the same person anymore. I have superpowers now. If you don't believe me, go ahead and test me." Without hesitation, his grandfather grabs a knife and stabs him in the stomach. But to his amazement, Sam doesn't feel the slightest bit of pain. At that moment, the story suddenly shifts into a flashback. The flashback reveals that when Sam was just a child, a group of criminals attacked his home. The tragedy claimed the lives of his mother and grandfather. As his father lay dying, he handed Sam an old rusty ring, telling him it was their family's treasured heirloom. Unfortunately, the ring looked so ordinary and worn out that it hardly seemed valuable at all. The story then returns to the present. Frustrated, Sam throws the ring away, but it bounces back and lands right in front of him. At that very moment, Sarah arrives, and the two two begin talking. Sarah admits, "To be honest, I don't even like Dane that much. I honestly don't know why I'm still dating him." Just then, Dane pulls up in his expensive sports car. Sam can't help but stare at it in amazement. Jokingly, Sarah smiles and says, "When you finally take me out on a date, make sure it's in a fancy car like this." Sam quietly turns around and looks at his old bicycle standing behind him, worn out and falling apart, just like his dreams. The next day, Sam visits a bank with his grandmother to apply for a car loan. After looking at his financial status, the bank manager immediately rejects the application, saying, "You don't have a stable job or a reliable income, so we can't approve your loan." At that very moment, a robot suddenly storms into the bank to rob it. As it grabs the money and starts making its escape, everyone expects Sam to finally use his superpowers. But instead of stopping the robber, Sam does the exact opposite. He politely opens the door, making it even easier for the robot to escape. The bank manager angrily shouts, "Why didn't you stop him?" Embarrassed, Sam simply replies, "I'm a loser myself." Just then, the sound of gunfire echoes from outside the bank. Sam rushes outside only to discover that the robot has already knocked down his grandfather while escaping. His grandfather is left badly injured and is immediately rushed to the hospital. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, Sam's uncle begins losing the strength he had gained, and his condition starts deteriorating once again. At that moment, his wife comes to check on him. Without hesitation, he grabs her hand and drains all of her youth and life force into himself. She dies instantly, while he becomes young, healthy, and powerful once again. That same night, Sam wanders through the city streets alone. During his walk, he encounters a strange man in a wheelchair who takes him to a secret place where several other people with extraordinary superpowers have gathered. Seeing them, Sam realizes that he isn't the only person with special abilities. Inspired, he designs his own superhero suit and decides to embrace his destiny as a real superhero. When his friend Kalaya sees the suit, he jokingly asks, "How are you even going to breathe inside that thing?" The moment he says it, Sam actually starts struggling to breathe and suddenly collapses unconscious. After regaining consciousness, Sam makes up his mind to wipe out crime in his city. He climbs to the rooftop of a tall building and waits there, ready to respond whenever trouble appears. However, before long, another superhero arrives and angrily says, "This is my spot. Get out of here." Curious, Sam asks what his superpower is. The superhero demonstrates his ability, but it's so ridiculously useless that even Sam is left speechless. Thinking it's just water, Sam casually throws a bottle at him. Unfortunately, the bottle is actually filled with gasoline. The moment it splashes over the superhero, his entire body bursts into flames. He falls off the rooftop while burning alive and dies instantly. After that, Sam takes over the rooftop as his own territory and begins fighting crime throughout the city. Before long, his heroic acts make him famous, and people start recognizing him as the city's newest superhero. Around the same time, the story's true villain finally makes his entrance. The police have him completely surrounded, but this villain is none other than Sam's uncle, who possesses the terrifying ability to steal a person's youth and life force with a single touch. Just as he's about to attack the police officers, Sam arrives at the scene and lands a powerful punch straight to his face, sending him flying backward. A fierce battle immediately breaks out between the two. Using his mysterious powers, the supervillain launches a brutal attack on Sam. The fight leaves Sam badly injured, forcing him to retreat and escape before he can be defeated. After returning home, Sam watches the news on TV. The reporter says, "Our city doesn't need a superhero. We need more police officers." Meanwhile, a group of thugs starts harassing Sarah. Sam immediately rushes to the scene, defeats every one of them, and rescues her just in time. Grateful for being saved, Sarah warmly thanks Sam. However, feeling shy and awkward, he quietly walks away without saying much. On the other side, the supervillain has already drained the youth and life force of countless people. Fearing that the police are getting closer to tracking him down, he begins putting together a terrifying plan, one that could bring destruction to the entire city. A few days later, the whole family gathers for dinner. To everyone's surprise, Sam's uncle is also present. While eating, he notices the injury mark on Sam's hand. The moment he sees it, he realizes that the city's mysterious new superhero is none other than Sam himself. Furious after discovering the truth, he silently gets up from the table and walks away. The following day, while Sam and Sarah are spending time together, Sam's uncle summons him to his secret hideout. He calmly tells him, "I'm not here to fight you. I only want one thing. Stay out of my way from now on." Instead of listening, Sam attacks him. He picks up a ball and throws it at his uncle, but his aim goes horribly wrong, and the ball bounces back, striking Sam on the head and knocking him unconscious for a short time. Taking advantage of the situation, the supervillain attacks Sam's grandmother, leaving her critically injured before escaping. She is rushed to the hospital immediately, but despite the doctor's best efforts, they are unable to save her. Her death completely shatters Sam. After her funeral, Sam falls into deep grief. Sarah comes to comfort him, but he pushes her away, saying, "I don't love you, and I don't want you getting hurt because of me." Several days pass, and Sam isolates himself inside his house, refusing to go anywhere. Eventually, his grandfather and his best friend Kalia encourage him not to give up. His grandfather reminds him that if he loses hope, evil will never be defeated. Inspired by their words, Sam finally regains his determination. Around the same time, a huge public event is announced on television. Sam immediately realizes that the supervillain will will almost certainly appear there. He heads to the venue with his grandfather and Kalia. At first, Sam mistakenly identifies an innocent man as the villain and beats him up, causing panic and chaos throughout the crowd. But moments later, the real supervillain finally arrives. He places a powerful bomb on the roof of the building, and the explosion causes the ceiling to collapse. Sarah becomes trapped beneath the falling debris. Without hesitation, Sam rushes in and saves her life. Meanwhile, the supervillain climbs onto the rooftop and begins draining the youth and life force from the people below. Determined to stop him once and for all, Sam races to the rooftop to confront his greatest enemy. In the final showdown, the supervillain throws one last bomb at Sam. The bomb sticks to his body, but Sam refuses to give up. Moments later, it explodes in a massive blast. The explosion tears the supervillain apart, bringing his reign of terror to an end once and for all. Thanks to his incredible superpowers, however, Sam emerges completely unharmed. Just as the battle comes to an end, Sam hears someone screaming for help. Without wasting a second, he leaps off the building and rushes to the rescue, saving Sarah's life once again. As Sarah looks at Sam, she notices the old ring on his finger. The moment she sees it, she realizes that the mysterious superhero is none other than her own neighbor Sam. In the end, the two finally confess their feelings for each other and embrace, bringing the story to a happy ending. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more exciting movie recaps.